I've always known that I wanted to spend my life surrounded by nature. When I was 5 years old, my dad signed me up for Grow Guides, and it's one of the best things that he could have done because it shaped my childhood and started my passion for nature and the outdoors. I spent my childhood camping and hiking, and I loved every minute of it. I actually went to college to be an outdoor adventure naturalist. I was a little naive at the time, but I thought that pursuing some sort of career in an outdoor field would fulfill my need for outdoor adventure. But I was pretty let down when I realized that the whole objective of the course was essentially to exploit nature. I was sitting in class one day and they were discussing things like bringing a big Hummer out into the bush with frat boys for parties, or offering services like heli skiing, which is literally flying a helicopter to the top of a mountain to drop off skiers and snowboarders, something that's hugely damaging to the environment, just to make a buck. That day, I made the decision to drop out of the course because I knew I didn't want to make money by exploiting the wild. I wanted to inspire people to respect it and spend more time outdoors. All I really wanted to do was spend more time in nature, but I held myself back with so many limiting beliefs. I was scared that I was too weak to go on long trips by myself or spend time in areas where there were animals like grizzly bears and mountain lions. And ironically, it took me moving far away from the wilderness that I loved to truly realize how much I needed in my life. And that's when I stumbled upon through hiking and started planning my first long hike. I packed my gear, strapped on my pack, and headed to the Tour de Mont Blanc in the European Alps. After the Tour de Mont Blanc, I was hooked and I immediately started planning my next hike. A few months later, I set out to summit Mount Albert Edward on Vancouver Island in Canada. It's something that I had dreamed of doing for years when I lived there, but I never thought that I could do it alone. I carried all of my gear and hiked solo into bear and cougar country, putting aside all of the fears and limiting beliefs that I had had before. I camped by a gorgeous lake on my own and summited the mountain the next day. And on that trip, I proved to myself that I can do anything that I put my mind to, even if it's summiting a mountain as a solo female. It was a really empowering experience and inspired me to pursue my dreams and see what I was made of. Pretty much every time I go into the outdoors, I wear minimalist hiking shoes. They're called Vibram Five Fingers, and your toes fit into little spaces in the shoes, allowing them to move freely of one another. They have no support in the soles, so they allow my feet to feel every part of the ground beneath me while I'm hiking. And because I'm so conscious of the trail and every step I take, I'm a lot more conscious of the environment around me. Before I left on the trips to hike longer distances, I had so many people tell me that it wasn't possible with these minimalist shoes, but I proved that it is. I love being told that I can't do something because it motivates me so much more to do it. When I'm out on the trail, all the stress of my daily life completely melts away. I'm entirely focused on that individual moment, on the trail, the fresh air that I'm breathing, and the views that are around me. There's a peace that I feel knowing that all I need to do is place one foot in front of the other and I'll eventually end up where I need to be. I think the peace I feel when I'm out hiking or when I'm doing multi-day trips is what allows it to be such a meditative experience for me, and that's why I keep seeking out more. That's why I'm now training for my first through hike, the Great Divide Trail in Canada. It's 1,200 kilometers through the Rocky Mountains in complete wilderness, and I am so beyond excited for it. My dream is to be out on the trail with just me and nature for months at a time, living with the elements and nurturing the connection that I so desperately need. I plan on documenting every step of the way, from my physical and mental training to the hike itself, and I would love to bring you along for the journey. So please consider subscribing, pressing the like button below, and turning on notifications for my videos to ensure that you'll see them when I share them weekly. And I'll see you guys in the next video.